Instagram. Y'all, listen, I don't overcomplicate just about, maybe just one area of my life is overcomplicated, but I don't overcomplicate anything because it's all just okay and it's going to be okay. And at the end of the day, I can't do anything. So I've seen some of you actually ask, like, what do you keep your patches in? Or how do you organize? Let me just show you a little glimpse of Carrie Helms. I have a shoebox. Yeah, and these shoes weren't cheap, but they did hurt my feet. So lessons learned. Look, I just have patches in a shoebox at my house. It doesn't have to be anything that's beautiful and organized. And you know what? If I took a selfie with this thing right now and been like, how do you organize at your house? I use leftover shoeboxes. That's being real. That's showing you a glimpse of the inside of my tiny house and the space that I have and what I use. And there will be some people that are like, oh my gosh, she stores her stuff in shoeboxes. So do I. I'm not much different than Carrie Helms. No, you're really not. Look, my hair's in a bun. Why? I bet a few of you ladies know why my hair's in a bun. And no, it's not because I'm lazy, Steve. I haven't washed it in like several days. And so I could take just that, just how I look today and go, anyone want to guess? Like, I'm holding my phone because that's what I do. Like, I'll talk in it on stories or make a post or whatever, just even a picture, and then my words spew out in the caption, right? Like, anyone want to guess why my hair's in a bun? And I bet several of my friends would go, you probably hadn't washed in a few days, Carrie. Just a little glimpse of like who you are and what you do. I remember when I was, and let me tell you too, no one ever taught me this. It's just something I just picked up, okay? It's just who I've become. I'm comfortable with who I am, which I believe makes a difference. And so pouring into yourself daily to build your confidence is great. But no one ever taught me how to navigate social media. No one ever taught me how to like really leave people better than you found them. Like, there's tips and tricks and stuff that I pick up on. Do you realize that when your children are born, you don't have to teach them how to sin? Have you ever thought of that? You do not have to teach your kids how to backtalk you, and yet they'll do it. When they turn 2 years old, no. Like, you didn't have to teach them how to say no. You don't have to teach them how to color your couch. Like I had a white couch, which was a mistake on my part with 2 little toddlers, and Landon's going to town with pins on my white couch. I'm like, great. Do I get rid of the kid or get rid of the couch? I got rid of the couch. So you don't have to teach your kids to mess up, but you know what you do have to teach them? Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. Thank you. No, thank you. Teach them how to hold the door open for someone coming behind them. Teach them how to, use compliments and things like that. That's just the way our world is. When we're born, we enter into that. So be a kind person, learn from people. I remember when I was teaching 3rd grade, okay, they're like 8 and 9 years old. I would teach in front of them maybe 10, 15 minutes as a class as a whole. And a lot of you are going, wow, well, what'd you do for the next 8 hours? I'll tell you what I did. And I was a fantastic teacher, and they were great, and their scores were great, and they were their behavior was amazing. My class could run if I was there or not there. And what happened was, the other time I had with them for that subject, they were self-teaching. They were using each other. They were taking ideas. They would play like Monopoly to learn math, and they weren't just learning math in Monopoly. Some of you probably need to learn how to play Monopoly in a nice way. You know what I mean? You can't play that in my house. We're too competitive. They trash talk, and so there's problem solving when you play games together. And so life skills were happening even as an 8 and 9-year-old. I was letting them self-teach. And I believe that's how they became so powerful. So today, don't think that you're going to just learn A to Z, everything you need to know, because I would be doing you a disfavor. You're going to get tips from me. You're going to get tricks from me. You're going to hear how I do it. And then I want you to go do it the way you want to do it. What I want you to leave here today with is empowered to go branch out and learn it how you want to do. So this is what we're going to do. You're going to learn a really cool thing I learned recently that's kind of complicated in stories. Now, no one is allowed to get frustrated. Raise your hand if you agree with me, you're not going to get frustrated. If you don't have your hand up, I'm going to remove you from this Zoom a little bit. There you go. There's that hand. I see it. Good job, Tracy. Tracy's like, I'm in. And she's still in bed. No, she's probably fixing breakfast for her kids. But listen, you're not going to get frustrated. Why? Because you're not going to break anything, and you can delete everything, right? Like this isn't the end of the world. This is just a taste of what you can do. You're going to learn something about stories. That's really cool. And you're going to learn a thing in, to make a reel, okay? REEL. Some of you, this is so brand new to you, and I'm so glad you're here, and you're going to be so glad that you're here. So are y'all ready? Y'all ready to try something new? Okay. And then at the end of the time, I have a post that I found because I'm constantly searching and learning from other people. So I found a post that's like 25, blah, blah, blah. Let me see what it says. It's like it's a blog, 25 Instagram best practices for faster growth in 2023. I'm going to actually take that link and throw it in Miracle Workers, but not till the end. If I did it right now, do you know what you would be doing? You would go click on it and you'd be reading it, and you wouldn't be listening to what I'm saying. I have been around that block because that's what I would do. I'm like, why am I going to listen to this person talking? All right, here we go. You should all have downloaded Instagram. If you didn't, I apologize for you because I'm not going to have time to let you sit and do that. So this is recorded. You got to learn a few things about it first. Like when you look at like your profile, okay, that means you have touched the bottom right-hand corner on the iPhone's bottom right-hand corner of your little picture. You want to have a picture. Across all social media, your pictures should be the same. Because if someone finds you on Facebook and they're going to search for you on Instagram, if they search your name, which is what you shared, like mine's Carrie D. Helms on Instagram. If you share that and like, hey, follow Carrie D. Helms on Instagram, they're going to go look, and it's going to be easier for them to find you if your photos are consistent across the whole board. Okay. So and I'm telling you this too, I work from Instagram and it all shoots over to Facebook. I'm not going to tell you how to connect that today. You are going to connect that on your own. There is ways in here, there's settings. And the reason I'm not going to tell you is because I'm not going to take the time to remember how I did it and then walk through it with you, but I need you to do it. And if you want to know exactly how to do that, Google, how do I make sure what I post on Instagram goes to Facebook? Because I like the fonts on Instagram better. So you've got your picture at the top, okay? And then you have a bio that you can put in there. Mine simply says, my hope is that you find joy on your journey. And below that, it says, click here to live longer. Below that, I have my link tree. If you click edit profile, that's where you can fill all of that information in. Okay? So if you can look at my Instagram, look at Crystal's Instagram, look at Sandra's, look at Steve's. It's just some people that I was looking at recently. You can edit the picture. Don't use the avatar. It's not real. It's not. But look, you've got your name, username, bio, links. Let's see. That's it for edit profile. Then you have these little things, and you may not have them below, but they're called highlights. They're little dots. Like if you're looking at mine at all, and you click on, like it says habits, I have this whole story that runs through that's talking about Kick It. Okay. When you make a story, there's a little button at the bottom right-hand corner. I'm sorry, when you make a story or a reel, either one. So click up. There's a button in the bottom right-hand corner that has 3 dots, and it says delete, highlight, save, send, add mentions, partnership, blah. If you click on highlight, you can like add that to the highlight. Some of you may already be lost, and that's great because I'm glazing through the profile portion of this because I want you to figure it out. If it's me doing it on this screen, you will not learn it. I'm just kind of going through some of it, and you're just going to need to click and touch and do everything. You won't break it, all right? But look, you need to hear this. It's really important that you constantly have a story running through your Instagram. And the reason I want you to make sure that it's connected to your Facebook is because that story, and not all of them jump to Facebook, and that's okay. We're trying to move people from Facebook to Instagram. Facebook's going to go away. Okay. Facebook is not, it's like, I'm going to go ahead and probably my kids would tell me it's like 35 and up is Facebook. Okay. So we're losing a whole generation, and that's going to move. So you want to try to move everybody over to Instagram, and then Instagram's going to change. That's what happens. It's like our patches. They're probably not always going to be a little sticker that you slap on your arm. I mean, I'm hopeful for that. They're kind of taking up a lot of real estate on my body, if you ask me. So let's make a story. Here's how you do it. Okay, I'm not able to read the chat right now, just so you guys know. So if there's anything that's a dire need in there, Crystal, respond and answer it. So here, how do you make a story? There's a little plus sign at the bottom middle of your Instagram, okay? It's a box with a plus sign. Hit that. And it hopefully you've got a bunch of pictures in there, because it takes you right to your camera and your photos, okay? See, it says post, story, reel, or live. We're going to do a story. Don't anyone move. This is the new trick you're going to learn. Are you ready? Sandra, you can't do this. You'll have to just listen. You're driving. When you click on that, you should see this screen that has, it should be looking at you. Do you see yourself when you hit story? Okay. On the left-hand side, there's like the letter A, a little infinity sign, and then this like box with 3 boxes in it. You see it? Okay, click on that. Now you should see 4 squares. Do you see 4 squares? And you should see yourself. Here's what you're going to do. Ready? You're going to create this. You can use it if you want. If not, that's fine. But this is what you're going to do. I want you to go in the bottom left-hand corner where your pictures are, and you're going to find 4 different photos that have super patches in them, whether it's of a super patch, of you wearing one, something like that. This is all going to have to do with super patch for this particular thing, okay? Because this is one that you can throw out your product that you're doing. So everybody go find right now, click on that bottom left-hand corner where your photos are. If you have your photos saved in albums, that helps a lot. I don't yet. I have 19,054 photos. Oh my gosh. So, but I do have a folder that says super patch images, and I've saved like 235 in there. So just go grab a photo, and then you're going to need to go to the next square and go do the same thing. You're going to do this 4 times. Don't move after that part. Do that 4 times. And when you're ready, put something up, put a reaction up on your thing if you can when you're ready for the next one. We're going to do this quick. So you have your photo of 4 that you made. And listen, as you have that in there, right, you've got the layout and you put the 4 photos in, you can use your finger and like zoom in on those. Okay, you can move those to be wherever you want them to be. And once you have all 4 in there, in the top right-hand corner, there's going to be a little drop down, and I want you to click Save. Look in the top right-hand corner, and you have your 4 things in there. It doesn't have to be perfect right now. This is something you can go change later. You see the Save option? So you can edit photos in Instagram the way you want and then save them. Okay, so do you have it saved? Everybody has that saved. Top right-hand corner. Hold on, I'm walking through it one more time just to make sure I'm right. This is a brand new thing that I learned. Oh, sorry, there's a check. There's a white check. I bypassed a step. Click the white check, and then you're on, like, do you want it to paste to your stories? No, not yet. Top right-hand corner, 3 little dots. Click on those, and then click the Save button. Okay? So you've saved it. Now, hit the back arrow. So I want to move to the next step. Remember, this is recorded. Go back to your Instagram. Okay, you're still in your Instagram. Go to your profile page. Hit that plus sign. And the very first photo that pops up The first photo that pops up should be the one that you have saved. Y'all see the very first photo pops up should be the one that you saved. Now you're going to go over to Reel, R-E-E-L. It says post story reel. Go to Reel with that photo you made. Then you're going to have to click on that photo again. It's going to come back to your entire camera roll. Click on that photo that you just wanted, and then click next. In the bottom right-hand corner, it's blue. And now you have a reel in there. Don't do anything else yet, okay? A reel is a moving photo, moving target, a video, whatever. You can do like up to 3 minutes. So you're going to click next at the top right-hand corner. Now, here's the key. There's these little star-looking things. It's like 3 little stars. That's where you change the filter. You see the down arrow, the music button, those 3 little stars. Click those 3 little stars, and you're going to see aesthetics, special effects. There's a search bar. I want you to click on the search bar, and you have to type in photo booth, because we're doing a specific reel that's actually really cool that I learned. Photo booth, scroll, V2. I'll put that in the chat. It's going to look like a checkerboard. It's going to look like it's red and black checkerboard. That's the filter that you want to click. It's so cool, you guys. Yeah, Gayleen, isn't that fun? Yes, when I saw the girl doing this, I was like, oh, I'm doing this. This is so cool. So now your photo, touch on that. It should be moving around like that. Okay, you can do this with your face. You can do this with your pets. You can do this with super patches, whatever. But for today's purpose, we are going to choose super patch pictures. Everybody following along as best as they can? Okay. So now when you post a reel, it needs to either have your voice, music, something. I want you to go at the, we're keeping this real basic, by the way. Top where it says that has the music button, click on the music button, and you can choose any song that you want. But just because we are the best of the best and we like to look unified, Crystal and I were talking, let's do a song that has something about super in it. So if you go search music, it should have, you should see the very top search bar, search music, type in super. I have no idea what's going to come up. I've never done this before. Oh, there's Super Mario Brothers. Now that's fun.
Super freak.
Super freak. There we go. Who said that? Barb, was that you? She muted real fast. Maybe nobody catch it. She said it. There's all kinds of stuff on there. So listen. You can hit the play button on the right-hand side and listen to it before you actually put it on your story. Okay, now I want to go play Mario Brothers. Okay. Anyhow, I'm going to pick the Super Mario Brothers one, okay? So when you want to actually pick it, I'm showing my finger because you don't just hit that play button, you click on the song. Okay? It's going to say lyrics aren't available. Great. Click that and hit done. So mine looks like this right now. Okay? Now, here's the other thing. That song is going to play over and over and over and over and over until you're done. And so if you make these in your car with your teenagers, it will highly tick them off. So make sure you turn your volume down and you're not having to listen to it because you're not done yet. That's going to be the sound that plays, but you're not done yet. So turn your volume down. And then, okay, because I picked, y'all can just get a picture of my brain right now. Because I picked the Super Mario Brothers theme, and I have super patches on this page, I'm going to make a statement over this. So I'm going to have like a small sentence over this video, okay? You click the top right hand if you want to. You don't have to. Top right hand corner where it says A, and I'm going to put, I have found something better than Super Mario Brothers. That's what, or found something better than Super Mario. That's all I'm going to put. I have finally found something better than Super Mario. And it's just quirky because you've got the song playing, I've got super patches, and really, I mean, I don't know if super patches are better than Super Mario because that was my childhood, to be honest. But they you know, some of you are laughing. I mean, seriously, I played it all the time. Maybe Crystal, come on, you're with me. You played it, right? Different 90s age. So I have that. And then when you type something out, if you want to, you see where it has the little color circle? You can do all different things with this. I'm just going to make mine white. And if you click on the A that has the stars next to it, it changes the look. So that's all mine looks like right now. It's got the song playing, the little comment over it. If you want to do that, you don't have to. We're almost done, you guys. You've almost created a reel that's actually more complicated than any of the other ones you'll ever do. And I knew if I showed you the hardest one I've ever done, you will feel so much better when you're by yourself doing one that's not even close to this hard. This is the hardest one I've ever made. Okay? So click next. We're not going to edit that. We're not going to do anything. We're not going to get fancy. Click next. And now it says new reel, preview, edit cover. And then there's a little write a caption. Your caption is important, but not today. All I'm going to say in my caption is message me ASAP to find out why I love this patch more than Mario. That's it. That's all I'm saying. And then I'm going to do a hashtag. It's important when you make reels to do a hashtag. Hashtag is the number sign. Yeah. In the vocabulary for kindergartners, you know, from like 2019 on, it's no longer number sign. They look up in the dictionary, it says hashtag, I'm sure. So anyway, the number sign is what brings you up hashtag. So I'm just going to do hashtag super. You can do anything. Hashtag FYP is for your page. So it's likely to get more views. Again, you're going to research that. I'm going to do hashtag fun. Hashtag Mario Brothers. Oh, it has like 2.1 million. And you want to use hashtags that have more views. You might seem overwhelmed, and it's okay. This is one of the harder ones to do. You're going to learn this, and it's going to be all right. You're not going to break anything. Once you've typed a little something out right there, even if it just says my first reel, I woke up today. Like, I don't care. Just put something there. You're going to hit okay. And then you share it. Okay. And then you share it. So I'm actually going to share mine. And then if I want to keep it, I will. If I don't, I'll delete it because it's my social media. I can do what I want. Right. But know when you share stuff on social media, wherever it's at, anyone can go grab it and use it. They can screenshot, they can video, they can do whatever. So life is not private online. Melly, what's your question?
Hey, no question. I wanted to say something to the hashtag. It's very important. You can do 10 hashtags, and it's very important to have different hashtags from the numbers, big and small. You understand, Carrie, what I mean?
Yes. So however many views are on that hashtag. Yeah.
I'm a little bit tired because driving car, etc. It's not mine anymore. And perhaps you think about personality hashtag you take every time. Your personality hashtag you create.
Yes.
Yeah. I read it last year in a blog, so I wanted to share it.
Like your brand, like, you know, so on one of my things, it says professional hope giver. So I can do hashtag hope. And then that hashtag follows me everywhere. You know, on Steve's, I've got hashtag motivation because he's a motivational speaker type situation. You understand? So Melly, thank you. That's a great point. And that will go into when you go read the thing that I'm going to post in Miracle Workers on how to grow. That's going to be one of those hints that you step up on. You can tag people also. Feel free to tag me if you want. Don't get crazy with it. Don't just don't overthink when you're going to put one. Just don't overthink it. The more you do this, the more you post reels, the more you post stories, etc. Okay, so go ahead and click share, if you will. Oh boy. There's Ken. He's first one on my Instagram this morning. I like that blue camo shirt, kid. So it's loading. So I have a purpose for this, right? All right, so here it goes. It posted. Okay. You should see your reel posted. Now, your reel is going to go into two different parts of your page. It's going to be on your main page, and it's going to be in just the reel section, and that'll make sense when you go click on that. But look, I want you to look at your reel, and there's this little paper airplane looking thing, kind of like an arrow. See the little paper airplane? It's like a heart, a comment box, and a paper airplane. Touch that paper airplane, and it says add to story in the bottom left-hand corner. Okay? Add to story, bottom left-hand corner. You click add to story, and I just want you to put that in your story. It's going to have weird colors based on whatever picture you did. You can add text to that. You can add poll boxes to that. We're not going into that. We're just not. You're going to learn that. You're going to do that, okay? So do that. Hit next. It's a super short story. Click the arrow. It's going to say done. It wants to know if you want to send it to anybody. Don't send it to anybody. Just click done. Okay? Oh, Barb, that looks great. I can see yours.
Where do I see it, Carrie?
So go to your bottom right-hand corner where your picture is and go to your profile. When you want to go to your Instagram profile, it's always the click on your picture, okay? And then the middle button, it looks like a lights, camera, action, reel kind of thing. That's where your reels are. And then the 9 square on the left, that's where like your post and your reels are. You can get into a rhythm and do like 2 posts, 2 reels, or a post, a reel, a post. You want to give people a glimpse of your personal life. You want to give them a glimpse of your business. You don't want to vomit on social media. It's not cool. Don't always have just demos over and over. It's no one's going to click on your stuff. What happens on Instagram, I'm going to tell you just one more thing, and then I'm shooting this over to Crystal. So you now have a story running, and so then you can go add to that story based on what you just put in there. Think of something that goes along with it and make it make sense. You guys, your social media is like a magazine. I don't read books. I read magazines. Why? Magazines have pictures. They're short and sweet. Books sit there and they take forever, and they don't normally have pictures, and it just doesn't get my attention. And that's just how I feel about it. Other than your book, Steve, go ahead. That's the one book. Second book I read was the one my mom wrote. So if you write a book, I'm likely to read it because I know you. But anyway, your social media is just a quick glimpse, and you want people to be interested enough in your story that they go, oh, well, let me click on her page. And then when they go to your page, you actually want your Instagram to look good enough that they don't want to just stop at those top 9 squares, okay? They don't just want to stop. I made the most ridiculous reel last night. I was like, Carrie, get off of social media. They don't just want to look at those 9, but they want to actually scroll and keep going. If you're just trying to sell people, they're not going to keep going. No one wants to be sold. And in fact, I was on a Zoom Tuesday, one of my 7 Zooms, and the lady kept saying, I don't sell. And I said, stop, listen. I said, none of us sell here. Can you just take that out of your vocabulary? And if you're thinking, and you're on this Zoom right now, and you're thinking that you're selling stuff, you're thinking the wrong way, because we're not selling anything. We're sharing an opportunity. We're sharing emotional help. We're sharing physical solutions. We are sharing relationship guidance. We're sharing financial freedom. We're not selling anyone anything. We're proving that the technology works. So this is a small bit and a very complicated thing. I wanted to do the very complicated, the hardest reel I've ever made. I wanted to walk through that with you. So there is more to Instagram. I told you I'm going to post on Miracle Workers, but I want you to hear me, and I want you to hear me clear. When you learn something new, when you're faced with something new, no matter what it is, if you will just simply walk through it. You're going to learn, you're going to grow, and you're going to come out on the other end more confident than if I was sitting right next to you holding your hand. Okay? So I'm going to turn this portion over to Crystal. Thank you for your patience. I will answer questions on the thread that I'm going to post that has the link that I want you to look at later. I'm not going to post that until this is over, but this is just the beginning of something that can be huge for you. And these things grow. You've got to stay consistent. Crystal's going to talk about, you know, the importance of even using this and not having any excuses. And so, Crystal,
perfect. First of all, that was great. And I actually agree with Carrie. I think that it was great to go through one of the most complicated reels so that you know how easy it really is to hop on, you guys. There are people out there, I'm just going to really briefly touch that. Honestly, their lips don't line up with the sound and they're still getting thousands and thousands and thousands of views. You just have to be comfortable and find your niche or niche or whatever you say it is, okay? The word. And so I love that. I thought it was amazing. I'm going to use that. I have not found that photo booth. I haven't used that filter before, so I'm really excited to use it. So today we're going to talk about excuses, okay? And one of the best quotes I've ever heard was, you can have results or you can have excuses. You cannot have both. Okay. And most of us, well, we don't really know each other yet. Hopefully a lot of us will get to know each other in Florida, but you probably don't know that 10 years ago, I was an excuse maker. I was someone that depended on everyone else and assumed that I was going to join a company and they were going to hand it all over to me and it was going to be super easy and I wouldn't have to make any effort. And I quickly learned that the best way to figure things out for myself is not to even if we have a great upline, not to rely on my upline, but instead to hold myself accountable, stop making excuses and get up and do it. Because there's no one in my house every day, you guys. Fast forward up till now. There's no one in my house. I mean, my husband and my kids will try to say, Mom, get out of bed. But ultimately, the person that decides that is me. There's no one here, even in the group, as much as we support each other, that's ever going to say, Crystal, you need to get off your butt, get out there and make these sales so you can provide for your family. There's no one out there that's going to say, show up for your team and force you to do it. Your excuses, if you allow them, will be bigger than the results that you get, and they don't need to be. Okay. So unfortunately, one of the most common pitfalls with just what we do is making excuses. And honestly, they're detrimental to your success here. They're detrimental to you hitting and achieving your goals. If you wake up and you say you write that list Steve tells us about, right? The 6 at night, you write your list, you get up in the morning, you look at this list and you're like, well, it's raining and the rain usually affects my mood, and so I'll probably not do a good job anyway, so I think I'll sit here, but I probably won't make my bed today or get dressed because of this reason and that reason. And as a result, all of the excuses you make prohibit you from actually growing and moving forward, and you're self-sabotaging. You're just self-sabotaging. And I actually wrote this out because I was going to be in the car, so just bear with me. We're running for VP this month, so my brain is a little scattered because, like Harry and Steve said, we've all just been going and going and going. And so I wrote it out so I didn't have any excuses to not know the information. So we're going to talk about why it's harmful and how to overcome this habit, aside from maybe, I don't know if Kick It could help you, but we could try. But let's overcome the habit so that you can be more successful here. So first, like I said, making excuses is a form of self-sabotage. It can prevent you from taking responsibility for your actions, making necessary changes to improve them, and essentially growing your business. Instead of blaming, I said, external factors, blaming them for the lack of your progress, it's important to take ownership of your situation and focus on actionable steps to move forward. Okay. So another reason why making excuses is harmful is that it can negatively impact your credibility with potential customers and your team. If you're constantly someone that's making excuses about why your sales aren't growing, or your team's not showing up, or you're not pouring out value, or you're showing up late to calls, or not at all, or you don't have an alarm. You guys, we're all operating from a phone or a computer right now, and both of those tools right there possess alarm clocks. None of us have an excuse. We all have an ability to set an alarm. We do. And if you don't, we got to get you an alarm clock. Okay. So if you're constantly making excuses of why you're not doing those things, people are going to start doubting your abilities. They're going to question your commitment to your business, and they're going to question your commitment and loyalty to them. Take that in for a moment. Because really, making excuses when you're in a situation like this, especially when you're someone that has a team relying on you, and it doesn't necessarily mean that you have anyone under you. When you come here and your leaders pour out value, you are an asset here. And so we're all running and working as one unit. And when we allow our excuses to take hold, and when we just allow that, our excuses to be the excuse, then we're letting everyone down. So how can we overcome this habit? First, the first step we need to take is to recognize when you're making these excuses. Take note of, if it's a specific time, if it's a certain person, if it's a certain type of training, if it's something you're avoiding, is it triggering to you? Or really, is it just, bear with me, you being lazy? And now we all have excuses of why we can be lazy. I know that there's many people that come into our company here and they're like me, they're disabled. They do have actual good excuses to maybe need to take a rest day, and they do have good excuses to maybe need to go to the doctors and do that. But I will tell you that all of those things do not take up 24 hours in a day, and that's from experience. So we need to figure out what is pushing you to make those excuses. Next, let's focus on solutions. So let's focus on solutions rather than excuses. I had to say it because I wrote it. It sounded really good. Okay. Instead of saying I don't have enough time, try prioritizing your task and delegating some of the responsibility to free up time. If you're not good at sales, invest or take time. Investing could be just your time, not necessarily money, especially because you have leaders here giving you free value. Okay. So invest in your time so that you can practice, hone in on your skills, and become better and better and better. And you guys, that just comes with over time. So it's easy for someone to come in and say, I gotta know, and so therefore I'm not good. But like Steve said, we're not looking for no's. You just got to keep pushing past that. Let that be your drive and not your excuse to not move forward. Because if every one of us would have stopped that, I'm scared, not a single person would be here. Not a single person would be here. If Steve's excuse was, I'm out of the industry, I'm good, I'm done, none of us would be here. So we have to hold ourselves accountable. We have to take steps to help us instead of fuel our excuses. So let's talk about some common excuses. I wrote down a couple, and then I'd honestly would like some of you to share some of your excuses. And all of you have them. So if no one volunteers, I'll just call people. Okay, so the first one I put is, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Now, this could be a viable excuse if you were in a situation where you didn't have an incredible community that pours out value to you consistently. If you don't know where to look, get into the Miracle Workers group. We all have the same resources. You guys, hear me out. No one, not even Steve, has any more resources in this company. They may know more people, we may know different people, but not a single one of us has a different resource than the next. We can all utilize those. We can all find those. We all have those at the palm of our hand. So if you were in a situation like that, it might be viable, if you didn't have someone coaching. But if you're watching this, you know how to find the trainings, you know how to figure out where to look to figure out how to do it. And like Carrie said, there's always Google. You guys, I didn't know what I was doing in social media. I had no idea. I have no professional training aside from my years and years and years of experience. There is no certificate. They offer them, but I promise you there is nothing out there that is going to there are things out there that you could pay $1 million for, but there's nothing free out there that you're just going to look and learn. You have to do it from experience. And the way it works is to just do it. Do it afraid. Do it where you don't think it's perfect. Post it anyway. Trial and error. Do A/B testing. Post one video, post a different video. See if your content with you gets more views, or see if your content with your product gets more views. Your network is your network, and there's no way, and Carrie was right to not walk you through every single step, because there's no way she can teach you how to speak to your network. That's your network. Okay, so if you've been trained and you know where to go, If you're in a community like this, I don't know what to do unless your brand spanking new is an excuse, and a bogus one at that. We do two things in direct sales. We find a few loyal customers, and we find other people who want to do the business and will run and do what we do. That means making a list, opening your mouth, using the tools, and following through with the proven techniques that are being shown to you, whether you work all on social media or all in person. It does not matter. As long as you're talking to people every single day, you're going to get the swing of it. Okay, so excuse, I'm looking around. I think a few of you maybe use the I don't know what to do excuse. So it's okay, you guys. We know what to do now. All right, excuse number 2. I've talked to everyone and no one is interested. Let's just take a minute. I don't know a single person.
9 billion people and found no one? That's bizarre.
I was just going to say that. I don't know a single person, not one, that has talked to every person on this planet. I don't know you. I'm telling you, there's no possible way you could have done it. Most of the time, we make this excuse when we've talked to like 10 people. 10 people or less, we've gotten a few no's, and now we're scared. Now we're like, oh no. That no means every single person on this planet will tell me no. And the reality is, that's not the truth. You just have to keep going. And as you share, and you know what, you guys, I like when I fumble over my words or stumble. See, I like when I stumble over my words. I like when I am talking and all of a sudden I have to gasp for air because I'm human. I like when I'm sending a voice clip and I have to say, I'm sorry, let me go patch up because I'm ADHD as heck. You guys, I did this yesterday and I can't tell you the numbers I'm trying to tell you because it makes me human. People aren't going to join someone that's already elevated and put themselves in a representation like they're aligned right next to God here. You know what I mean? Like we are all running, we are all capable, we are all able, but you have to be relatable. And that's something Carrie touched on earlier. And I love that. Be you, be authentic, do what's comfortable for you in the sense of it feels right to your spirit, but step out of that comfort zone. I know that was kind of a trick statement, but okay. So the first no does not mean every no or every person you talk to will be a no forever. You have to keep being consistent. It takes an average of 10 times of someone seeing your post for you to finally engage them to where they want to reach out. It takes a person an average of 3 months. Listen, in network marketing, planting a seed for 3 months. You guys, I have someone that's going to join next week that's been following me for 4 years. Talk about consistency, okay? 4 years of just relationship building, of seeing what we're doing. And this happens a lot. I bet some of you are running into this now where you're running into people that are finally joining you here because it makes sense. They can feel that alignment. You're authentic in what you do. So you have to keep planting the seed and really just keep watering that garden and allowing it to grow and get past the weeds. Just pick out the weeds. Each no you get is a weed. Pull it out. We don't want them anyway. Just keep going. All right. Number 3 that I have, and this is going to go a little bit over our time, but that's okay. Real life just got in the way. Real life just got in the way. Are you not doing this to enhance your real life? Are you not doing this to build a brighter future, a legacy for your family and beyond? Are you not doing this to change the world? This is real life. And not a single leader here, especially in this crew, okay? Not a single leader here is going to tell you your business takes precedence over your kids and your family. Instead, we tell you, get involved with your kids and your family. Take that patch with you. And when it makes sense, patch them up. Trust your gut. Love what you do. And when you're being intentional and you got to go to those places, just step out of your comfort zone. Not a single person is telling you that real life can't still happen. And I'll tell you what, I've been doing this over a decade, and I have never been more free to have more time to spend with my family. Building my team. I'm busier than ever too, by the way, busier than ever. And I still have time for us, for real life. You're going to get sick. You're going to end up in bed some days. You're going to end up with more appointments. You're going to have days where the day just got past you, or your kids were too much, or you had to run more appointments. It happens. That's one day. One day. And if you let that one day be your excuse to not continue on to the next day, again, those excuses quickly become bigger than your results. The patches are too expensive is a fourth one I put on here. Ask yourself this, and I'm going to read this now. Ask yourself, is this someone else's objective or in fact your own? Do you feel like people won't buy the patches because they're too expensive? If you do, we got to talk, because I came from really small finances, limited income, and I'll tell you, these are the most investable things I've ever purchased. Are there people having success in the retail side of this product? The answer is yes. Is there a demand for the product? The answer is yes. Do you believe in the product? God, please say yes. Please say yes. If you are on this call and you don't believe in what's happening, if you're on this call and you don't know that these patches are what's actually going to change your future and help other people, we've got to have a real come to Jesus moment. Okay. We have to have a real talk, because if you don't believe in your product, and PS, that's the number one thing you need to do to be able to sell this product, is believe in the product and represent yourself true to your character. If you don't do that, it's not an excuse, it's an issue we got to work out. Okay. So I'll tell you what, this time I've used the excuse in the past with products, and I'll be honest, it was my own reflection of how I felt about the products. I didn't value what that product was doing. I didn't see what that product could do for other people. I didn't think that it was affordable, and it really, really became more of a, not an excuse, but really just a mindset. So let's hear a couple excuses. We're not going to go too long because we're already on, and I want to get through this, and I just have a couple more things to say. So I would like just anyone to mute, say an excuse, or if you have one that you think is, listen, we're not going to bash on you. We're not going to yell at you. We're not going to do anything. But if you have an excuse that you're like, this is a real excuse and it's getting in my way, that's what I want to hear right now.
Hey, I'll say, so what you just said about real life got in the way, that's been me for this week. And I'll own up to that, because life has happened and I have just sat idle for a whole week. And the first part of the week was because grandbabies were here. Well, guess what? I could have taken them with me. I could have done something, but I didn't. So that was an excuse that I used.
Thank you, Christy. I truly love that you just said that. Yeah. You guys, sometimes life just gets in the way. And it's okay. But like she said, if you find those little moments, and I'll tell you, I had to take about a week where I sat back last month, and it killed my mood. It killed my spirit to not be involved and engaged. Once you get hooked on this community, it's so hard to like not show up to the Zooms because you want to see the energy or feel the energy. You want to see the people. Who else has an excuse?
Okay.
There you go.
Okay. Mine is my husband and my daughter do not believe in me in this. And it's really hard to get, they don't believe in me. They don't believe in this. And I've showed them. And when I say, try this patch, and they're like, no, that's okay. I'll be in pain.
Please read my book. Please,
I know, but
please read my book.
Okay.
No, please read my book. My family did the exact same thing to me. Same thing to me. Exactly the same thing.
I was the only one.
No, you're not the only one. Listen.
And my husband said absolutely not. He would not do it. And he watched the difference and the change in me, because it was obvious to everybody around me, and he will not now go without them. So you're wearing them, and your testimony while you're wearing them and your positivity about people will see that, and I promise they will be drawn in.
Listen, you guys, you're going to be able to prove your family wrong, which is going to be amazing. That's going to be a great feeling someday. Colleen, my wife Colleen, is the one who got me involved in this profession, and I struggled. I struggled like crazy. I had no idea what I was doing. I spent $23,000 my first year in building the business, made no money, spent it all. And I remember one time she said, "Why do you still do this stupid business? We don't make any money at it. Why are you still doing this?" I just said, just wait. You don't see the big picture. And then all of a sudden things started to change. And you know what Colleen says to me today when I'm sitting at home, not really doing anything with my business? Don't you have a meeting to go to? So they will change. They will change. Just prove it to them. And I know it's tough living in under the same roof. Like I've got my parents and my aunts and uncles. It's like I'd go to family events and it's like, how's that pyramid thing going, Steve? You make your first $1 million yet? So you know what you need to do? Hang out with us. Hang out with us.
And that's what I'm doing now. And that's what I've been trying to do, to attend all these.
Yep.
But when I go out and say, just the expressions on their faces is what sometimes brings me down.
You're not going to worry about them. And when we say clauses in here in this group, when we say that's what I've been doing, that's what I'm trying to do, I have been attending these, but we're taking all the buts out of it. We don't have a place for a butt except for the one you're sitting on. That's it. Because what changes, Janie, is you're going to say, I'm attending these so I can go out and be successful. And success doesn't look like butt or excuses. And Crystal was spot on to bring this up. And these are hard points to touch. But that is the number one thing that shuts them down is their family, their spouse. And I don't care. I don't care at all. What I'm doing is beneficial for my children and my family and my husband, whether he realizes that or not. I have spent plenty of money this past 18 months, and has it been worth it? Absolutely. Would I do it again? Absolutely. Because I know, learning from Steve and from other people that have been successful, that I don't just quit because my aunt won't use it. I don't just quit because my husband, it won't stick on his skin. I don't just quit because my kids might roll their eyes. No, my focus, my idea is bigger. And so take all the excuses, Janie. I want you to change the way you're speaking. You're on here, you're doing these because you're going to go out and be successful, even if your family doesn't follow. No buts.
Real quick, I just wanted to add to that. I've done like 7 companies, and each company I've done well in. Each company that I've been with, my husband has supported me because he loves me, but not been on board with. And when I started with Super Patch in April, I looked at my husband. I had a very real conversation with him, and I said, you don't have to believe in this product, but you need to believe in me. And I don't need you to carry me through. I just need you to support me. And that's all. I didn't ask for money to support it. Well, it's my husband, so technically I did, but I didn't ask for my family to buy from me. I never expect them to. I don't even bring up patches around them because it hurts my spirit. Okay. And those people, they'll come at you with love, and they'll come at you and tell you out of their own experience. But the only thing you can do is stand firm in what you're doing, believe in yourself, and just keep pushing through. And like they said, they will follow, they will support you. They will finally go, hey, let's go out to eat on your money, but eventually, or what it all really just comes down to is just saying, look, I just need you to support me. I don't need you to believe in what I'm doing. I just need you to not be negative, and once you address that, sometimes they think they're doing it out of love.
I wanted to, very similar to what you said, Crystal. I've been in this business for over 30 years. I've had good times and I've had bad times, but I did never have a husband that supported me until I could show him a paycheck. And I just spent 20 minutes with my son last night, listening to him tell me why this patch and this company and Jay and everybody else is just off the rocker. Okay. So don't just stay focused on you. Just like Crystal said, if you believe in this, they will see that you're believing in it. And when you get serious, they will see you're serious. Don't listen to the naysayers. Come back here every week and talk with us.
So yeah, I'll jump on here right quick. Now, Janelle, my wife, she, because of the past, I had been in a business, and a company never had any success at all. None. And so the very first company I got in, I lost several $1,000s, got in debt, and that kind of burnt her. She didn't want me to have anything to do with it, but she's always supported me. She's always been the person that's kind of, okay, if that's what you want to do, you go do that. And so now she's 100% behind me. She's excited about the future. But I'm going to tell you guys, the one thing that we can all have excuses with everything. But if you're just out there doing the business, the business is going to be pushing you. You're always going to feel like you're pushed. But you got to find your why. If you have your why will pull you. And it's easier to be pulled. You have to chase after that thing that you want. Take your why, write your why down, read your why, know why you're doing this, and it'll pull you. And all those excuses and all the naysayers will fall to the side.
When I first started, I was like all excited. I thought there'll never be a test that's done that doesn't result in something that it's going to work every time. So every time you do a balance test, it's going to work. So I have some friends I have a friend who lives in Oregon, And I sent her, she started to order. And I said, no, I said, don't worry about that. I'll send you some samples. So I sent her samples of the Liberty and Flow. This before I even tried any of those things, really. Before I even tried Flow, I just sent her the samples, and I sent her a couple of piece patches. And so then I told her about how to do the balance test. Maybe I shouldn't have, but I told her how to do it. So she gets back with me and says that she did the balance test on herself and she did it on her daughter, and that it didn't work for either one of them. There was no change before or after the patch, and that she watched the video I sent her. I think it was Carrie's video where Carrie does a demo. I sent her that video and she said, I watched the video several times, both my daughter and I did, and it didn't make any changes. So end result is she ended up, she was going to order. And then the end result was that she didn't order at all. So now I have this, it's not really that, that I don't believe in the products. It's just more that I have sort of this fear that I'm going to go out there and try to demo someone and it's not going to happen, or it's not going to work.
Since April, I've put these patches on hundreds of people, hundreds, maybe even 1,000 people since April. And I will tell you that not one time have I ever come across anyone where at least they didn't have more strength this way or on the side. Okay. So what I'll say to you is, in that situation, what I would suggest is to get them on a video call and have them standing there together, walk them through step by step, very confidently, because our demo works, you guys. The reason we do it is because it works. But if you have someone that's already here convinced it's not going to work, their ignorance will show up here. And that's not in a way to be disrespectful towards them. It's just they don't know enough about the product. They're still expecting it not to work. Go ahead, Steve. I see you unmuted. I'll let you.
They were doing something wrong. Absolutely positively doing something wrong, because I've never had somebody where it hasn't worked either. And the other thing too is, there are some people who are pretty strong, so make sure you do the range of motion test with them as well. And that it's one of those three will work on 100% of the people. You have to show up as confident as you've put the patch on. It works for you. You've had the demo done, right? So know it works.
I did, and I got my patches in the mail like right before I was to leave for work, and I wanted to put them on, so I did. And I've had like amazing results. My balance, stability, asthma symptoms, night blindness went away. I had a 39-year bladder emptying problem that from day one of Liberty was just vanished. When I go to use the restroom, I have to sit there twice to urinate, because I'd have to sit there and then wait until I went again and then get up and go. Now I go once. It's one and done. It's amazing.
Let that drive you for the confidence, because what you just said, no one can dispute that. That's your experience. That's what you've witnessed with these. Okay, I'm gonna wrap it up. You guys, I really appreciate you sharing some of these vulnerable excuses. I know that they can be, like I said before, quite debilitating, and I just want you to know that this place here, we're not going to let you just settle in yourselves, but we're also not responsible for you. You are responsible for you. This business is yours. We are a community. We are all growing together. We want every single person here to succeed. That's why we have all of these videos. That's why Steve and Carrie and Ken and Sandra and Teresa and everyone else, sorry, there's so many people now. We all throw out all this value so that we can succeed together. But if you don't take it and you don't run with it and you don't absorb it and you don't utilize it, you stay stuck, and that becomes your excuse. Okay. So I have one thing that I wrote out. I want to read it to you. I think that hopefully it resonates with you, and then I'm going to let us jump off of here. So what you have to do is you have to decide what to keep placing blame. You have to decide if you want to keep placing blame and finding excuses, or if you want to start taking responsibility and achieving success. The two go together, and you won't have one without the other. So cast aside those excuses and define what you are willing to do for what you want. Then pursue it relentlessly. All right. So, all right. That's all I've got, you guys. I don't know where I heard that before, but it's beautiful. And I appreciate you. And I just go have a great day. And if you didn't see that demo challenge, get in there. That's amazing.
Thank you so much, Crystal. That was awesome today. Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank
guys.
you, Crystal.
Have a good day. Thanks for staying
longer.
longer.
I learn from you guys every single day. So thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Steve.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Crystal.
Yes.
Have a great day.
Thank you. Have a good day.